What is going on, everybody? We are back for another edition of the Double Switch podcast. It's a bad day. It's a bad day here in Philadelphia. We just saw Bryce Harper get hit in the hand last night, and it's bad, Johnny. I mean, this is not the news that we wanted. Anybody but him. He's the most important player on the team, and I wish we could start out with a more optimistic topic. But yeah, this sucks. No matter which way you look at it.
Yeah, this is the elephant in the room right now. Bryce Harper is the heart and soul of this team, and I know everyone's nervous because we've seen this team play without him, like the couple games he's been out, and they play flat. So yeah, it's a reason for concern, and we should talk about this right away. What does this mean?
The thumb. So actually, I broke my thumb playing baseball when I was younger. When I was really young, and I know adults here heal differently than kids. I broke my thumb, and it took me a really long time to play baseball again. It took me probably a good 8 weeks. I want to say that I waited a little bit, about a week to get a cast, and I was in a cast for about 5 weeks. You pull that cast off, and all the muscles gone in your hand. You have to rebuild your strength. It was in my throwing hand too. Is it his left or right hand? I saw different stuff about that. I wasn't sure.
I heard left hand.
Okay, left hand. So he won't have to. I mean, he can't throw anyway. So that's kind of a good thing if we're trying to take positives away. But he's going to have to rebuild the muscle in his thumb if he doesn't need surgery. And if he does need surgery, that kind of changes everything. If he exploded his knuckle and his thumb, that's a full-on disaster, and we should probably bury the thoughts of Bryce Harper playing again this season if that's the case. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the deal is. They're running tests now. Let's kind of assume that this is the worst case scenario. I mean, there's so much to take in that I don't even really know where to start. Do you think we should be positive and think that we might see Bryce this season again, or do you think we should probably start to make our plans to see him next season at Citizens Bank Park?
I would prepare for the worst. I mean, especially with the torn UCL. I know a lot of people think it might be beneficiary to get the surgery while he has his thumb injury, get like the two birds with one stone, and get him back healthy for next year. But it's a really tough bullet to bite. But I think we need to our other options need to step up now, and we should plan for them to be the guys the rest of the season.
Yeah, I was thinking about it earlier, and it's very interesting how the timing of this works out. If Bryce Harper were to call his season sometime this week, and he decided that I need to have surgery on this thumb, that would set him up perfectly for 2023 opening day if he were to get Tommy John surgery. This injury that he just had, it might kind of be making the tough decision that no one wants to make right now with Bryce. I mean, the Tommy John's been looming for the past couple months. No one really wants to commit to anything with that. People want the PCP injection. They want him to come back and play as much as he can this year. The thumb changes stuff. And if he's going to spend a lot of time being hurt anyway, why don't we just bite the bullet and just worry about next season, have him come back healthy for opening day? I think that would be my choice if it were up to me.
Yeah, I think it's the right choice too. I mean, we all know you have Bryce Harper for 9 more seasons, 8 more seasons. I mean, we can't have him banged up going into next season. We got to take care of him. He's our franchise player. But I think the way Bryce Harper is, he's probably going to be fighting to get back this season. Just his nature, the nature of him.
It's tough. He's such a fighter. You could see it when he got hit last night. You could see just the frustration that he was feeling. Yelling at Blake Snell, and then apologizing for it a couple seconds later. He knew what happened, and it's tough to see. He's one of the greats of our generation, and he's in his prime, and you really don't want people like that losing their prime years. It's bad for the Phils. It's bad for him. And it's
Back
bad
to
for the game.
baseball.
It's
Yeah.
bad for the game. You really want Bryce Harper out there. A lot of stars right now are banged up. I mean, Tatis, Mookie. It's not
Machado.
good. Machado, DeGrom. It's not good for baseball. You really want those stars to be out there performing, but it is what it is, right? I mean, this is what we signed up for. We always knew that there's a chance anybody can get hurt at any time, and we were kind of playing with house money, having the DH anyway with Bryce Harper. Um, in a different world, we don't have that DH. We don't have Bryce Harper for any of this, so kind of just got to take it as what it is, and we can start to think about what's this team going to look like without Bryce Harper the rest of the season. How do you see this playing out with lineup construction and fielding?
Well, the positive part about this is now we can kind of envision the field and the lineup kind of how we thought we were going to in the beginning of the year with Castellanos and Schwarber, and even Bohm getting some time at DH and getting off their legs. And I think we're going to see a lot more of Castellanos in the DH spot. I don't think that's a surprise to anyone. He's been a better fielder than Schwarber, or Schwarber's been a better fielder than him. And I think he would be the one to probably get most of the time.
Yeah, immediate reaction. He's probably the one who's going to benefit the most. And in hindsight, I know Castellanos hasn't been very good so far, but I mean that signing seems to get bigger and bigger every day. I mean, we lost our right fielder. We signed a big time right fielder, and we can plug him in for Bryce in the outfield. And right now, he's the only caliber hitter on this team who can even come close to matching Bryce Harper production. So he's going to be big. He's going to be really big, and we'll talk about him in a little bit. But you see Castellanos is getting a majority of the playing time. Do you see Dubal picking up a lot of time in the outfield now, or is that going to be like Moniak's position, or how do you see that right field void?
I think it would be a lot of Moniak, a lot of Veerling, probably keep Odubel in center.
Okay.
But I think the young guys are going to see a lot of time in the field, and they're both very good defenders, so that's a plus.
Yeah, so I'd imagine we'd have something of a platoon in right field with Veerling and Moniak, with what you're thinking is going to happen.
Yeah, I think so. I don't think we have many options after those three outfielders, which is kind of why we might have to start looking to the outside come July 31st.
Yeah, it's tough to say that you lost Bryce Harper and we have Matt Veerling and Mickey Moniak to pick up the slack. That doesn't
No,
happen.
that's not comforting at all. And yeah, it's raising a lot of questions. How are we going to replace even half of that production that Bryce Harper had?
Yeah, it's the depth thing that we seem to touch upon all the time. The Rays could get away with losing one of their starters. We can't do that. We need Bryce
Same with the
Harper.
Braves.
Yeah, it's tough, but I think that getting Castellanos off his feet, having him focus on hitting, he doesn't look terribly comfortable out there in right field. And I think people who don't like fielding, it kind of seeps into the other part of their game. We've seen that with Alec Bohm too.
Yeah.
The fielding problems start to affect the bat, and the Castellanos is probably a DH anyway, so now he gets to fill that role. Bohm is another one who I think is going to see a lot of time there. I want to say he's probably going to get a quarter of the at bats at DH. That's going to be huge for the infield. We're going to be able to get Camargo in there. Camargo is a much better defender. Maton's going to be back soonish. It's not the end of the world. It's certainly not the end of the world, but it's pretty bad. Yeah. Any last thoughts you have for Bryce and
I think yeah, it's rough, but we're gonna have to find clever ways to be more productive pitching and like defensively to make up for the shortcomings.
a precedent of this has occurred recently. It was obviously a different team. We saw the Braves lose Acuna midseason last year, and they did great things at the deadline, and they went on to win the World Series. So I mean, you lose your best player, you can make it work. It's just going to take Dombrowski being incredibly creative. I don't really know what the team needs. He's going to have to really think outside the box with this because we already have payroll constraints. We already have a a full roster. Like there's not immediate holes here. So it's really going to take a lot of creativity on Dombrowski's part to really plug the hole that Bryce Harper has opened up.
Yeah, Josh, do you think Dombrowski be willing to go further over the cap than they already are?
Yeah, I think he would. It's just tough because you really can't commit too deeply to right field right now. You can't go out and get a like a Ramon Laureano because we have Bryce Harper coming back. Like he's not gone forever. Like that's the thing. Like we still have 9 more years of him, and we still have a bunch of outfielders that we have locked up for 4 years. So it's going to be like a Band-Aid, whatever it's going to be. And I don't know. I really don't know. I'll look into that later, and I'll try to come up with some names for you guys for the next episode. But as of now, let's just hope for the best, and we'll be hearing news about that shortly. I'd imagine what he's going to do and where that's going to be. But let's move on.
Yeah. The
How
rest
you
of the
feeling?
teams are playing. Go ahead.
How you feeling about the ups and downs with this team? We've seen them not be as consistent as we thought they'd be. With that Rangers series, even so with the Padres a little bit, seems to be just coming back to earth a little bit.
Yeah, I think it was humbling, some of these ups and downs, especially that Texas series. That was a real kind of slap in the face. I'm like, all right, like we're like a wild card, like just below wild card team right now, like nothing better. But like what I have liked, what has been pretty stable is the pitching rotation. That's been a real surprise. I personally didn't think. I kind of thought Zach Eflin was done with that knee thing, but then he came back. I think it was last night and put up a good outing as well.
Yeah, what is up with the knee? I thought he fixed that with his offseason surgery, but it's acting up again.
Is it ever not going to be an issue?
It seems just he can't cure whatever's causing him problems, and it's always going to be I think it's always going to be something we have to worry about with him, and it's kind of annoying if I'm being completely honest.
I'm tired of it.
Yeah, I'm sick of his knee problems. My God. Yeah, but he looked good yesterday. Ranger, a good start. It seems the pitching is just getting it done. I don't know what's going on with the Rangers. We can't seem to beat the Rangers. I saw we haven't beat them since like 2014.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird team to like have like such bad luck against. They're not even that good. They haven't been that good the past couple of years.
Yeah, and you see Matt Moore and Brad Miller on the team succeeding in their new roles. Kind of frustrating, not going to lie.
Yeah, the Matt Moore thing I think is the most frustrating for everyone. Even like the broadcasters, like Ben Davis was like livid about that. Because we did not see the same Matt Moore last year at all.
Yeah, he seems to have found a role in the bullpen, which I'm surprised because usually, I mean, did we try him in the bullpen? I think we did, right?
We did, yeah.
It
He was kind of like a seventh inning guy.
Yeah, it didn't really work, did it?
No, he wasn't throwing hard, wasn't very accurate. But now he's like found his accuracy and like he was sitting 95, 96. He looked good.
Why does nothing ever work?
It's a curse.
Are we cursed? Like, is it the city, or is it just? You think it's the city's curse?
Yeah, I think us in the sixth. No, I think it's the whole city, really. Yeah. You look around.
Bad stuff really seems to happen to these teams, and I don't know why.
Maybe it's karma. I don't know.
It's really annoying. Our best players keep getting hurt. You saw it with Wentz in 2017 and Embiid like this season, and just it sucks. It literally sucks. I don't know. I don't know what's up with that, but they're out in San Diego now, finishing up that series, and we're back in contention, so that's kind of a good thing. We're only a couple games out of the wild card. You see a lot of these wild card teams having the same ups and downs that we are. And I think that presents an opportunity for us to actually, sneak in if we can fill the Bryce Harper hole and some of our bigger name players can step up. Mainly Nick Castellanos and JT Realmuto. Where are you at with those two?
Happy to see JT turn it around. We have not seen any power from him this year. No extra base hits. It's been good to see him get the ball elevated a little bit. We all knew he was like strong enough to hit the ball out of the ballpark. He just kept rolling it over. But Castellanos, yeah, he's gonna have to wake up. I mean, I was pretty easy on him before just because I know the type of player he is, and the pressure wasn't huge because we had Harper like hitting really well, but he's gone, and now like he's kind of the guy.
Who are you more concerned about out of the two right now?
Probably still JT.
Okay. Um, yeah, let's get into JT because I did some research. The power is becoming a problem with JT. It's not something you'd like to see out of an older catcher, just seeing him sap all of his power right now. And I'm going to tell you why he has no power.
All right, I'm all ears.
He never really hit the ball hard. We know that. He's not. You know, he doesn't have Bryce Harper exit velocities. He's pretty bad, relatively speaking. 50th percentile, 55th. So that's going to lead itself to fringy home run numbers as it is, and his exit velocity is down this year, so we can expect to see lower numbers. Something that people haven't looked at is the baseball. The baseball is different this year. I think we all know that, and Saris wrote a really good article on The Athletic. I recommend him to anybody who's interested in baseball. Home runs to the opposite field are not as common this year. They aren't 100% sure why. They think it might have something to do with the side spin of the baseball. It's just not flying out to the opposite fields the way it used to. And I was looking at JT's spray chart. The power to the pull side hasn't really disappeared. It's those homers to the oppo field that we're just not seeing anymore. His power's effectively been cut in half. And that's due to both the baseball and the exit velocities combining themselves. And he's just not going to have the power to the opposite field. It's not just him. It's everybody who kind of hits the ball the other way too. Freddie Freeman, another good example. We can expect 30 homers out of Freddie Freeman. He's at like 6 or 7 now. And until he changes something in his approach, mainly pull the ball, that power's going to be capped at probably 15 home runs. And that's not really going to do it for me personally, and probably for the Phillies. If you pull the ball, you tend to get more bat speed. You hit the ball out more in front, and you're just gonna have more power if you pull the ball. That's the way it's always been, and you combine that with the skill set that we believe is already diminishing. I know he said he's made adjustments. I don't know if it's going to be enough. I really don't know. 11 barrels so far this year. He's just not hitting the ball as good as he needs to. I hope Kevin Long hears this and convinces him to start pulling the ball. I think it's a pretty clear thing to see. I think we can all kind of agree that he'd be better if he did it. But that's what I think's going on with JT. And I don't know. It's not good.
Well, you had me at the ball could cut down his power by 50% because JT the past couple seasons, I know like me and you try to predict like home runs at the beginning of the year, and we predict him at like 20, 25 home runs every year, and half of that is not what we need out of our 3 or 4 hitter, whatever we're going to use him as now. So yeah, I think you're right. Like Kevin Long, if you're listening to us, which we're pretty smart, you should probably tell him to start pulling the ball because it's a different league now, the way that ball is. And I think we're kind of seeing that with Castellanos, another guy who kind of like he's not a strong pull hitter. He likes to use the center of the field, right center.
Exactly. I was going to say that I think Castellanos is dealing with the same thing. These guys don't crush the ball like Bryce Harper. Bryce Harper can get away with this. They're not. They don't hit the ball hard enough for that. And I don't want to be dramatic, but it's really bad. His slugging's down on fastballs, breaking balls off speed, exit velocity, launch angle, barrel percentage, hard hit rate, sweet spot. all the expected stats are way down. It's bad, and it's going to take something major for JT to get on track again. But we have seen it in the past couple of days. It's been better. We saw a home run, which is just groundbreaking stuff now.
I think this team just needs to turn into a team that hits doubles like it's like a single. It just has to be like we have to hit the gaps now because we don't have that big power bat anymore.
Yeah, it's a shame that it's tough to make these adjustments as a major league player. It's a lot easier for me to sit here and point to what you have to do than actually do it. But this team could really hit some home runs if they all started pulling the ball in Citizens Bank Park. We could really put up some numbers. Unfortunately, that's going to take a while to see that change.
Yeah, that is unfortunate. But what do you think about Montiak? What do you think his bat adds to this lineup?
I don't know.
I know you've been kind of falling out on Montiak lately. Are you going to believe?
My expectations are lower, which I think is a good thing. I don't really expect much out of him, so anything he can give us is a bonus, right?
Yeah, I think he's going to have to come in and at least fill a big defensive void.
Yeah, suddenly our outfield depth is getting pretty fringy.
Yeah, because who do we call up next? Simon Muzziotti?
Simon Muzziotti probably is next. We said this a couple weeks ago with the infield depth. There's not much depth in AAA for this, especially offensive depth. We can bring up defenders for days, but there's not many bats that we can come up here and that can come up and plug in now that Veerling's already here.
A little concerning.
It's tough, but
because I feel like we were looking like a much deeper team just 2 weeks ago.
I'd say so. Montiak's here. How do you see them setting up this lineup? That's going to be very interesting because we also don't have as many lefties as we used to. Like, it was really balanced before with Bryce and Schwarber, two big lefties. We only kind of have one. We have Didi and Stotty at the bottom of the lineup with the double. They're not, the big power hitting lefties that Bryce Harper is. Do you think Thompson's going to change stuff around, like big changes, or do you think he'll just move everybody up a spot, or what do you think he's going to do there?
Well, I would like to see JT start hitting. Like, I feel like the natural shift would be have Castellanos go up to the 3-hole and then JT in the 4-hole. But I kind of like Castellanos a little more in the 4-hole. And then I think having Didi behind him at 5, and then probably have to shift Stott up to 7 and put one of the righties at 6.
You're keeping Schwarber in the leadoff spot no matter what.
Yes, no matter what.
You're keeping Hoskins in the 2 spot no matter what.
Yeah, I think so. I think that we've seen that those two are really good at getting on base.
Yeah.
And those are the 2 guys that need the most at-bats in the season.
So you said you wanted to keep Castellanos at cleanup spot. Who are you going to move up to 3?
JT
at 3 spot.
We got to believe.
JT.
That's where we're at.
Oh, no.
My hopes are lynched on to JT Realmuto right now.
Okay. I think I don't want JT in the 3 spot. I'm going to reject that. What I would do, and I think that I would actually move JT down to the 6 spot, which is not what you were thinking.
Who would you put in the 3-hole?
I would probably keep Schwarber at leadoff. I think I would move that 2 spot. I know JT hits really well in 2 spots in the lineup, and it's really random. He hits pretty well in the 2-hole. I didn't know that. Had like a 900 OPS in the 2-hole. I'm not doing that, but it's interesting. And the 7-hole, which they're not even close. But I don't know. Schwarber in the 1. Schwarber leading off no matter what. I think I consider moving Bohm up to 2 again.
Ooh.
I think that he was good there earlier in the season. and I think he's heating up a little bit again. I just need a competitive at bat there, and I know Reese was there. I'm moving Reese back to 4, back to cleanup. I think that Reese is an interesting player because I don't think he needs protection. When he's cold, he's not going to hit anyway, and when he's hot, he's going to hit anyway. So there's really no reason. There's no reason to really protect him. You can't really get him out when he's hot anyway, so he's going to hit, and he fits the cleanup spot role kind of well. Castellanos, our best hitter. I'm going to move him up to 3. I'm going to put Didi at 5, and I'm going to put JT at 6, and then Stott, Bierling, Adubel, some order in those 3. Adubel has led off before. I didn't really like it. I could also see a world where he leads off again, and Hoskins, Schwarber, Castellanos, 2, 3, 4. It wouldn't be the most surprising lineup. It's not my favorite lineup, but
I kind of like the direction you're going with, like the Bohm and the 2-hole, because we've seen him, like, a lot of our like big innings are sparked with like a Alec Bohm hit for some reason. And Schwarber's been taking a lot of walks recently, and there always seems to be like a guy on base in the first inning. So I think it'd be good to put Bohm in those situations in the 2-hole.
Yeah, Bohm's stats are pretty bad. I was surprised.
Yeah.
But he spreads the ball all over the field. He has a similar approach to Gene. Gene and him kind of have the same approach. Gene can execute it a lot better. But I could see, Schwarber getting on with the single and then Bohm spraying the ball to right field. I feel like that's just where he always hits it. And, I liked him in front of Bryce a lot. I thought that was working. I don't remember why we changed it. But
yeah, I'm not sure either. I think it's just because Hoskins got hot.
Yeah, but that's going to be tricky, and it's really going to test Thompson in a way that we haven't seen him do yet.
Yeah, Thompson's really going to have to earn his money now.
Yeah, he doesn't have the benefit of Bryce Harper just putting MVP numbers up in the 3 spot. But hey, that's why he's here. He's here to make those tough decisions. But yeah, that's that. That's what Phillies have been like recently, and I don't know. I don't know how I feel right now.
I'm disappointed right now. In all honesty, I'm just disappointed to hear the Harper news, and it's kind of been a big shadow over my whole day. But I think I'll get over it. I think we have a scrappy enough team to. I think we can produce still. I think they'll get up for him too because they're upset for him.
You said produce. You didn't say something that I was looking for, so I'll just ask it. Do you think this team is good enough to make it to the playoffs without Bryce Harper?
No.
You don't.
I think if Bryce Harper's out for the year and he's done, I think as we stand internally, no, we're not good enough. But hopefully we get it back after the All-Star break. Hopefully it's not super serious. We haven't heard everything yet.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I don't want to be negative, but I tend to agree. And there's nothing that this team has done recently to suggest otherwise. Every time Bryce leaves the lineup, we look like the Bad News Bears, and I don't know. I don't think that it's something that we can't fix. The Braves did it without their best player. They also had really good players beside him, but so do we. So do we. And in the next couple weeks, I think on social media, I've seen a lot of Philly Nation's been really tough to some of these players. Nick Castellanos and Reese, they seem to get a lot of hate for the lack of consistency. But something we need to remember is baseball's such a up and down sport. No one really performs at an elite level throughout the entire season besides a rare couple players. Bryce is one of them. And, we can't fill a team with those type of players because, we just can't do it. We can't pay $35 million for an entire team. So you mix in these these streaky players with the Bryce Harpers, and he's going to get hot. Nick Castellanos is going to heat up, and we're going to look back on all of this. Oh my God, dude! Flaherty left his start. He's on my fan. Oh God.
Yeah, that was. I think you're playing me this week, actually. While we're on the
Oh my
topic,
God.
I think you're losing.
Everybody keeps getting hurt.
Oh, excuses.
Heaney and besides the point.
Yeah, no,
I
but
think,
Castellanos in the post game interview. He talked about it. He says the way he views himself, Reese Hoskins, JT Realmuto, he knows that they're all much better baseball players than they're playing right now, and then they're all very aware, and they're holding themselves accountable. And I think we can't count them out. They are talented, and we did pay them a lot of money for a reason.
Yeah, in 3 weeks, there's an equal chance that Castellanos heats up and he becomes a fan favorite. That's how quickly things change in baseball. And just don't bail on players too soon. It's a long season, and at the end of the season, I'd still put money on Castellanos being 280 to 300 with 30 homers. I'd still put big money on that. It's how baseball players work. It's ups and downs, and you got to deal with the downs, and the ups will follow soon after, right?
Yeah, everything's a streak in baseball. Every type of player, relievers, starters, batters, they're all made up of streaks, really. And 3 weeks of good baseball, and everyone will forget about Nick Castellanos' start to the season. That's all it takes. I mean, like, once Schwarber got hitting, once June started, all the question marks about Kyle Schwarber are thrown out the window. I could see the same exact thing happening to Nick Castellanos come the end of July. He could be up at 280. I think you're absolutely right.
We got the Cardinals, the Nats, the Cardinals, the Blue Jays. We got the Braves first. So this is a tough stretch. Cardinals, Blue Jays, Braves, those are 3 teams that are probably going to the playoffs. We're going to learn a lot about what we need, what we don't need, and where we're at, in these next couple weeks. We'll probably know if we're being negative or overly positive about this team. It's a make or break stretch here.
Yeah, we're gonna need the starting pitching to be really phenomenal going forward. It's already been better than we expected. It's like a top 5 rotation in the National League. But yeah, especially against teams like the Cardinals who are hitting on all cylinders, and the Braves. We're gonna need to win some. We're gonna need some low scoring games.
Pitching needs to win us some games here without Bryce, and it's going to be interesting for sure. Any last points you want to make about where we're at, where we're going, where we've been?
We're going into the unknown, and all we can do is hope for the best.
It's scary. It's scary.
It's a scary road ahead, to be completely honest.
God.
But go Phils.
That's what we signed up for. But thank you guys for listening to our dreary episode about the state of the Phils today. We're hoping for good news next episode, but you never know. As we've said before, we're now part of Pick Swap Media Group. Give us a follow on YouTube. Give us a follow on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok now, right? We're getting on TikTok. Trying.
Yeah, we're newly on TikTok. You can follow us at the Double Switch.
Yeah, we're a little old for the TikTok stuff, so we're kind of figuring out as we go. So bear with us.
Yeah, it's been a rocky road trying to learn TikTok for me, but okay. Check it out.
We'll figure it out. We always figure it out. But anyway, thank you guys for listening. Follow us on all those social medias, and we'll talk to you guys soon.
All right. Thanks for listening, guys.